And we're live, guys.
What happened?
Wrong audio. Say something. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, it's all good. Sorry, Doris, to do that. But yeah, we can start again.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back with another match, another win, especially after the last match we had. It's refreshing. We got a win. It was a tough game. It went to penalties. So yeah, what do you guys think? Tough game. Any standout players? First thing that comes to mind with this game.
First of all, like there were so many things wrong with the whole concept of this game.
I
So
agree.
just to break it down, like in India, there was no official stream. We had to go get an illegal stream set up. And after that, and the game, ex even though it was a meaningless friendly, like the game extended way beyond what it was supposed to. So it's pretty late for us viewers, and it wasn't that exciting of a game to begin with. Like the Villarreal game, even though we lost, I really enjoyed it because it was a really good game for the neutrals. There were really good chances and good quality game. But for this one, like it was scrappy all around, and then I don't know, like I just feel a bit down after seeing us perform to this level, but you know, happy that we're through to the finals.
I agree. We might play Barcelona next, and that will be a new challenge for us. It will be definitely a very tough game. Even if it's Betis, it's still a really tough game, and we have a really tough month coming up with really tough games. And yeah, it's nice that we won, but let's not kid ourselves. This was a really tough game, and Valencia, at least in the extra time, really wanted to take this to penalties. They, I guess, thought they had a better chance winning the game that way, which they gave us a really hard time. So I don't know if maybe that was the right choice, but they only took out like only a few minutes for that. So I guess a choice is a choice. It's tough for Valencia when you have two players missed your penalties, the penalty. Sorry. But yeah, we have to be proud with the way our players took our penalties because after the World Cup and so many misses and so many sketchy penalties, yeah, it was nice to see everyone just clean up the job and get the job done. So yeah, I would like to start like at the beginning of the game. Benzema in the 14th minute had a really nice run, and unfortunately he missed the goal, and that would have been one of the best goals this season. He nutmegged the defender. That was really fun to see, but for the 10th goal, I wish that was the one. Valverde, like a minute after that, had like a really good shot. Unfortunately, again, it was saved. The Valencia goalkeeper had a really good game. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. It's a pretty tough a tough name to spell. Um, First, I would like to ask Vishal, any first half moments you would like to point out,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that
A
happened?
couple of things I want to talk about with regards to first half. One, we were a little bit more fluid overall. That had a lot to do with, I think, Bruce being on top of his game as usual. Like he was finding so many right angles, ways forward, and we saw a resurgence of Valverde at center mid. he was really good today. He was driving forward, making things happen. So yeah, I think those two really helped us be dynamic in the first half. First half also I saw some of Benzema's best play after coming back, like you said. I think he was really good today. Like especially in the first half, he was doing a lot of good things. So yeah, like I was just very pleased with how we were doing. Okay, Valencia were a little sus. Let's say like they were sort of playing a very high line, but they weren't really pressuring. So all that space was always there for us. Second half I felt like the sorted things out, but we had a very good first half. I felt like everybody was on point. Maybe Camavinga a little bit here and there. Like when he's starting, he's not showing the levels that he has shown. But overall, yeah, I thought like we had a good first half. Like there were things to be happy about, especially like some concerns, like Benzema's form, like much better. Midfield looked better with Valverde doing good shift at centre mid, and Courtois as always.
Yeah, the first half was probably our best half, especially the very start. We started really well, and then everyone kind of looked like they started or stopped trying. You know, to say better. But as soon as second half started, they got a goal, and everything turned there because we all expected, let's close this game down, even if it's 1-0, let's just close this game down, and win. But yeah, they really gave us something there, and then nothing happened from both teams. Uh, so there were some, really good attacks and some really bad misses, but both teams lost the ball a lot. There were many offsides, and the referee, in my opinion, was pretty bad with his calls, or with his constant calls. He stopped the game the entire time for everything. I'm not saying that like most of those things weren't fouls, but there's a way to get around that, and he stopped the game so much, and even for the goal for Benzema in extra time, it actually cost us a goal. So that really impacted the game. Jacob, thoughts?
Thoughts about the goal? Well, first of all, like,
The
uh,
referee.
I mean, yeah, like, there were some strange decisions, to be honest. A lot of fouls, fouls weren't given, and then a lot of light, very questionable fouls were also given. So overall, I would rate him like maybe a 6 out of 10. Like he didn't have any horrendous decisions to make like in this match with VAR interfering or anything. I feel like the Benzema penalty was warranted. He gave that, so I'm pretty happy with that. But overall, like it was a really difficult. The referee had an important like role in making this game like totally difficult to watch and stay awake.
um, well, I wouldn't say that he didn't have a big mistake, because it did cost us the goal, and that was a mistake because the the way we're used to with football, at least right now, and VR, which wasn't used in this game, I guess. That that is the biggest thing here, because if it was, uh, you should let every play go, um, and see what happens, and especially in situations like these, and handballs where you cannot see them clearly. That's basically it. In the second half, Tony was really starting to show a little. He was being really good. He made quite a few fouls, but he was running the entire time and making tackles. And probably our best midfielder on the field to, today. Um, Also, would like to mention maybe Modric and Valverde not having the best of games, even though it's nice to see at least in the first half, Valverde finally take a shot at the goal. which was refreshing because in the last couple of games he was really, I want to say invisible because that's not feather, but not what we saw in the first half of the season, definitely not. And yeah, Ceballos came on for him later. Thoughts on Ceballos, and
Uh,
also thoughts on Kamavinga.
yeah, so Ceballos, I mean, I don't know, I'm pretty sure he's leaving at the end of the season. Probably to Betis. He's been talking about Betis even when he's been here. So that's probably happening. I thought he was fine when he came on, just helped in recycling possession and stuff. Fede had a great first half, like you said. I was happy to see that. I feel like most of his good shifts have come from right wing, and it's good to see him have a good game at center mid. At least in the first half, he was really linking up play well. But we saw this curious phenomenon we keep seeing, which is Fede sort of disappears when he's playing with Cruz Modric sometimes. Like you did use the word disappears, but it does happen. Like we tend to sort of shift focus towards those two, and then Fede is sort of left with not knowing what to do. And I think that's what happened with Camavinga in the first half as well. Camavinga was like a little hidden. Like he wasn't the one doing things. Cruz, Valverde, Camavinga wasn't appearing in spaces. Maybe like he appeared a bit in the final third, receiving some passes. But as far as what he should be doing as a midfielder, just whenever he starts a game below par for Madrid standards or for the standards of any other midfielder that's here right now, he he's been given chances to start. I'm not sure. Like he warrants it. At least this season. Like, last season he did stake a claim. This season it's like whatever. It's fine. Like I'm okay if he doesn't at this point. It's a bit of liability.
Jacob, Kamavinga.
I don't know, like he did have a few good moments. He did spray a few good passes, like especially early on in the first half. But as the game was nearing the end of the first half, he put in a lot of unnecessary fouls and he got unnecessarily booked as well. Like you are used to seeing these sort of challenges, and then it's Kamavinga doing Kamavinga things. But what worried me was like he lost a few good balls as well with loose touches, which was not a usual thing for him.
Yeah.
So that was pretty disappointing to see. But overall, it's a pretty standard Kamavinga starting game as we come to expect.
Exactly. His starting game that happens almost every time he starts, and even unfortunately, sometimes when he's brought on as a sub, he tends to foul a lot. And I don't know how Ancelotti is gonna try to break the habit. It is a difficult thing, to break because you have your feel how to play football, and maybe he will start to question himself if someone talks to him, and that can backfire later. But he not to say only bad things about him. He is really good, and especially when he comes on as a sub, obviously, and of course, as any other player, he would of course want some playing time and starting time. But the way he played, at least this season, um, I don't think it's an improvement improvement from last season, and that's not good. That's not a good thing to say about a player, but he's still young, of course, and his second season here. So maybe it was the magic of last season that helped him, feel more confident in himself. But he's been making so many sketchy fouls, and every time we have to use a, a substitute on him when it would be nice if we could trust him, with playing 90 minutes every game, or every game that he does start.
Yeah, and
Because
Doris, do you know if he was actually taken off for the second half because he was injured? Because I did see him sit on the bench with an ice pack.
Yeah, I heard a commentator say that his knee was injured. So I'm not sure if that was the reason, but I'm pretty sure it was because of the yellow. And he's kind of reckless, but it is probably a combination of both things where he decided to sit this one out, and it is a tournament, so there are no second chances here. So even though we consider this a friendly, it's always, we gotta win, and there is no two ways about it, and if you're gonna cost the team the game, you have to sit it out, and in the league, I'm sure he will get more chances to play, and even in next game, I expect him to probably play. This doesn't mean anything really. Um, of
Well, yeah.
course,
Uh,
Courtois again. I
oh wait,
mean, amazing.
before we go to Courtois, like there's Ashik in the comments saying, "Hey, Kamavinga needs a shot of good whiskey before a match to calm his nerves. That way he won't foul as much. He's full
True.
of energy, sometimes too much."
The first 10, 15 minutes, like it's what he said. He looked like he had a case of the nerves. He was loose touches, like not comfortable on the ball. Cruz was giving him the ball, and like he was at one point I was fairly sure Cruz was giving him the ball a lot to just get him back into the game. He was like he was right next to Cruz, and Cruz would just give it to him and say, "Okay, do something now," right? So yeah, like confidence might like be a bit of a thing right now, which I hope he can deal with better. But I think it's because he is so talented and so good that we have such high expectations or standards that we expect from him. Like we know he's better. So yeah, we just haven't seen that this season.
Totally. So yeah, I was gonna say both goalkeepers actually this game were really good. Even the Mamardashvili,
Not at all.
he was also really good. In the penalty area or penalty time, he wasn't as good as Thibaut, but not even Thibaut was, his best performance ever. But he had a nice save. It wasn't a great shot from Valencia, but during the game, both goalkeepers had really good saves, and um Benzema. Benzema had a shot on goal that got saved. Cruz had a shot. Valverde had a shot. Vinicius had a shot. Like he saved everyone's shot. So I don't know if he was the man of the match, but maybe he should have been. Or either goalkeeper, maybe should have been the man of the match.
Yeah, statistically, Mamadashvili is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, easily top three in La Liga. So yeah, like this Valencia keeps benefiting from the fact that he's having a great season or two actually. But yeah, today like it really showed. Both goalkeepers like very very good. Like it could have been a much more open game, few more goals, everything opens up maybe. But like these guys made sure there was just one goal each, and that's again one of them was a penalty. The other goal, fine, fair and square. The Lino beat Lucas Vasquez sort of goal in, but yeah, I mean, very very solid stuff.
Yeah. Does anyone maybe know what happened to Vasquez if the injury is serious? Because I cringed as soon as it happened. His ankle got stuck under him, and that's exactly how I broke my leg once. And it was just painful to even look at it. Does anyone know? Like, is he out for a while now, or is he even good?
It's Vasquez.
Nothing.
He should be good. No, like as
That is true.
he was able to walk around the whole pitch without any support from any of the trainers. So I feel like it could be just a knock and then precautionary thing because we
He
have a
might feel it later. He might feel it later. Like at the moment, he's alright, but he might feel it later. If anyone knows, please let us know in the comments if our load is okay. um, so yeah, we had to bring on Carvajal, Mendy, which both I think I- injured or kinda injured, which it was unexpected, and I think Mendy wasn't even on the squad list, which I don't know. I hope it doesn't start any problems that it's not fair or whatever. But we'll see. um, Also, Militao, I think he also got injured. So quite a few injuries happened this game. Either our injured players had to play, or some players got really injured. I think for Militao, it was just that he was feeling dizzy, I guess. But there's I feel like sometimes a pattern with Militao, not intentionally, maybe, but he seems to get injured every game, or just sit for a second every game, which is it's funny. At least it's funny, yeah. And even last season that happened. I just hope that this doesn't mean that he's injury prone or anything. Um, Even though this wasn't an injury, that was to his body. It was just his face, which will be fine in a few hours. He just needs to put some ice on it, probably.
No, but yeah, but he did have a few good blocks this game. Like I was really proud of him, like at least for this game because he improved from last game. Rudiger still looks shaky though. Like this back line, like all throughout the match, Valencia were dropping in like these deep balls. Like we just couldn't deal with them. Like it could be that we were missing Many because Cruz, the gap between Cruz and the defense was a bit big, so Valencia was finding space between the that final third a lot. I don't know, like as soon as Militao left the match, I feel like we lost even more control in the defense and they had way more chances. It was just Rudiger pretty much all alone dealing with stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't particularly a bad game for our defense. I mean, apart from the goal that happened, Vasquez was just, caught lacking there. It was an unfortunate goal to, get scored on, but from Valencia's point of view, that is a really good goal, and it's worth a compliment, that goal, and that is something that you would expect from us to do, but it just doesn't seem to happen lately. Vishal, what player would you like to say a few words about? Anyone stand out this game?
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm personally very happy that Benzema's moving like Benzema again. Like, yeah, it was one of those things where I felt like you could see it also. But today, like, it really looked good on his end. Like that first half, I was like, a lot of good moves, a lot of intelligent going around him. But yeah, I think again today, like our best player was Toni Kroos. He was out of position, CDM. So that part of the game didn't go well for us, like you highlighted. But I think at any point, if we play somebody who's not Germany at six, this thing is going to happen, even if it's close. So yeah, but on the ball, like just as usual, so good, so composed, directed everything, made sure we played forward, made sure we went ahead, made sure people were getting balls between the lines, spread, switch. I think he hit some four of those classic switches in the first 10, 12 minutes. So yeah, like from minute one, bang on. Defensively, maybe like, but I just don't expect like after Casemiro's left, my expectations for us dealing with transitions is very low to begin with. I feel like we are always likely to get hit on it. Germany helps, but if Germany is not there, we are going to suffer on some level. So that was expected, but yeah, without Kroos, like especially with Camavinga being kind of shaky in the first half, like Cruz stabilized everything, made sure him and Valverde were reference points. So yeah, I think Cruz is just a player to highlight for me, apart from like Courtois, of course.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you you said. For Benzema, I would say he had a refreshingly good game. Not that he scored, an incredible goal or something, but it was refreshing to see him, play how he usually plays, even though his finishing wasn't amazing. He played a really good game, and that run, made me excited that there is still, something in him this season because he hasn't played many games. I think he only played like 15 games, but he already
And
has
no rhythm also, right? Like he kept breaking off and coming back. Like
exactly,
15
yeah,
games without rhythm.
yeah. He got injured and then the World Cup and then again like there's many pauses for him and I hope that this is like a bright spot for him and that he will just step from this point up and his game seems to be coming back. I really hope that that goal would be counted in the extra time, but you cannot rewind the game if it's already blown, and that's just unfortunate because it would have been a really good goal for him, and I would hope that the game on Sunday would be the next step for him because this has been a really tough season for him. And then I would probably say again that Thibaut deserves to be the man of the match, at least for us this game. And yeah, there is nothing else I can say about him, but compliments and the goal that happened was definitely not his fault. And it's sad because goalkeepers are usually the extension of defense, and our defense is not working at least currently. And it's nice to see that even this season he keeps saving us because without him we make so many mistakes, and it's nice to have a rock back there. um, Anyone else you would like to mention, or should we finish up?
I'd like to take a moment to like discuss Vinny. So in this game, we saw like the good and bad of Vinny, right? He got through on goal a couple of times. He placed himself in good positions. He passed around the ball pretty well, but he also lost a lot of easy balls. Instead of maybe choosing the right option, he over dribbled. Instead of taking Ancelotti's advice, like from last season, saying, "Hey, you need to score within one or two touches." Like after that,
Simplify it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
simplify the game. Like he has seemed to have reverted to his old self because, especially that last chance in the extra time of 90 minutes, like we saw, he took maybe four touches just to get himself ready for a shot. And Rodrigo in that position would have maybe taken the shot first time or on the second touch at least. So I feel like Vinny needs another sit down from Ancelotti and get everything told to him just to say simplify your game because you're doing the difficult part right and the simple parts incorrectly.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. This what's been happening, like what you just said. It's high time Ancelotti had a chat with him. I remember thinking this in September. I remember tweeting this in September. Like it's been showing for a while. Like I think all the Brazilian players have just clocked it to some Joga Bonito mode. Before the World Cup, you could see it all across Europe. Like everybody was just turning the flare on, and they did turn up well in the World Cup. I mean, in the World Cup itself. But yeah, Vinicius' decision making, I feel like it's regressed. It's just gone back to where it was. It's been a while too, right? Like we wouldn't be calling these things out if it's not been a while, but it's been happening for a while. Like he's lost that simplicity in the extra time, for example. I thought he played a little more fluidly, and you could see the attacks were just pinging forward. Benzema, Vinny, Modric, something, something, right? But if he's just staying in a corner trying to beat an extra man, by that time somebody's covered Benzema. By that time somebody's coming the way of Modric, and there's no passing option, right? And then he loses the ball. This kind of thing you've been seeing so much this season. Yeah, it's I think it's like past time somebody had a chance to do.
Yeah, I agree with you, but it's kind of the thing with Vinicius. He keeps on trying and trying and trying, and finally one play works. But you don't always have the chance to attack that much, and sometimes the defenders, are giving everything to defend one player, and he's that kind of player that the players put extra focus on, and things that worked last season maybe not work right now, or not as well this season, because people are starting to catch on with some of his tricks, but yeah, it still works, and I wouldn't discourage him of playing this way. But quite a few times we saw him in the center and giving Mendy some space to do what he does when Mendy came on. And yeah, as you said, that let him play more fluid football. And who knows what it would have looked like if Rodrigo was also there, if Rodrigo wasn't subbed off and Asensio came on for someone else, maybe for Valverde. That could have happened, but um, Ancelotti is the man and he knows. I will never question him. It's not my
Yeah,
job.
exactly.
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah. It was just a thought, we missed Germany, and I always say it's easy to say when things already happened that someone would change the game, and it's always easy to say things like this, Asensio for Valverde and not Rodrigo, but it happens. You have to sometimes, and you have to tinker like Pep. But yeah, we missed Chouameni this game, and when I hear how much they praise Casemiro in the Prem, like it really sucks that we didn't get at least one more season of them changing out. Just one season. But you know, uh, congrats to him. Chouameni is, I think, injured, but not nothing serious. So we will see him soon. Probably not even next game. Probably. I don't know if he even traveled here. Do you guys know?
Yeah, I don't
No,
think so.
I don't think so. Yeah. So yeah, we are missing a key player this season, or this game from this season. But yeah, I would predict that next game we will probably play the same lineup of players that are not injured, of course. I think it, Vasquez probably won't play next game. Even if he doesn't start, he probably won't even play next game because I think that injury will tonight be pretty serious. I know what it feels like to do that. I've done that multiple times, and when you have studs and your foot gets stuck on the grass, it's you're done, baby. um, yeah. Thankfully, we have some players that travel with us. I doubt that Eden will get a chance to play, even though he was, I guess, ready for this game. But uh, at least he's in the squad. I doubt that he will play. Actually, he didn't even seem to get ready to substitute at any point this game, and that says a lot, as we talk about him a lot on this podcast, and we always say every game that he's not even, not even warming up, and it is still a big deal, and it will never stop being a big deal as long as he's here. I
It's the
loved
same
him when
with
he,
Bale, if you remember, towards the end.
yeah,
He
same,
was just on
same.
the bench.
Uh, yeah, and also if we're gonna mention Bale, he retired yesterday or 2 days ago. So congratulations to him. He did win the cup in the MLS this season. So yeah, congratulations on that and on the World Cup. He's still a legend of ours, and we should always be, grateful for him. And at least now, when he's retired and not playing for us anymore and not playing football, we can just, support him. And he will probably go to golfing now, and that's not even a joke. Like a lot of people are talking about it, and he usually even, pa- participates in matches and small tournaments. So yeah, it'll be fun, to have a watch along of Bale playing golf on this podcast. But hopefully one day, if he surpasses Tiger Woods. uh, yeah, that is pretty much it on our players. It was a long, long, long game, and not many goals happened. Some questionable, decisions happened. Mostly that it, happened all the time. That fouls happen all the time. Both teams, I think, wanted to play a bit faster, but it just didn't happen today. And even for Valencia, they try to play those fast crosses and all that, and they saw that we just cannot defend those, and that is a thing that happens with this team. I just cannot explain it. We have such good players, but this thing always happens. And yeah, it was a really tough game. It was a really long game. Thankfully we won. We will see you on Sunday for the next game. Tomorrow I think Barcelona plays Betis, so we will see who wins and who we play, and we will see you on Sunday. Any closing thoughts, guys? Anything you want to add before we end?
Yeah, sure. I was just looking at the post-match quotes, and Carlo Ancelotti had a few words to say about the penalties. So he said, Benzema and Modric are our best penalty takers, and that's why I chose them first. So it was like all of the mature players coming in. I think it's the first time that we've seen that. Otherwise, it's usually like the younger players stepping up first, and then Modric and the other people come on. But this time it was all the big ones first, the captains first, and then it was the younger players. And he did mention the last penalty kick was Vinicius, and he also said it's good that he didn't take it, and he just laughed.
That says a lot, but that's funny. That is really funny. Thankfully, we have Thibaut Courtois. I mean, that man is incredible, and he's always there for us. So yeah, um, props to our team for sticking with the win and winning this game. And I know they are probably tired, and tired of traveling and trying of being there, and and it's a tough month, but we're here to win, and we'll see on Sunday. We will probably be celebrating, hopefully.
Celebrating our win
uh,
against Betis.
Also, hopefully.
yes, against Betis, I agree with you. Yes, against Betis. Yeah, that would be it. See you guys on Sunday. A la Madrid.
Madrid.